Don't be a drag, don't be a putz. Just tune into an episode of Wow, That's Nuts.
Hey! Welcome to Wow, That's Nuts. All right. Is that... Why do you make the intro so long?
Because...
What?
Because I'm just full of such joy. Actually, this has been a really tough week for us, but we wanted to dedicate this episode today to someone that was extremely special and a huge part of our life, Annemarie Waldsmith, who we lost this week. And I think we're a bit in shock, if I'm being honest. She was only 42, and she was one of our best friends for years. I mean, we did so much with all those guys, for years.
Yeah, she was part of the crew. It kind of sucks that we lost her this week. But she's in a better place, as they say.
She's in a much better place, and I think the bigger part is we're realizing at this age that we're losing a lot of people we know. This is the worst part, I think, of middle age is we start losing people. But I don't know. I don't know about you, but I think people are I've lost a lot of friends in the last decade that were too young. So I think there's something much bigger going on at play, whether it was COVID, I don't know, but
I mean, I don't think that changes over time. It's just part of life.
I guess so. And I guess I've realized I've been pretty blessed to know a lot of awesome people. So,
she was pretty awesome.
My fondest memories are going to the concerts. Every year we would pick a concert to go to in Mansfield, and we would all go, and there was always a story. We always had the funniest stories that to this day, probably nobody else would think is funny, but to us it was hilarious. She had the same sense of humor. I don't even know, because she had moved 5 hours from here, and she's living with her mom and her son Bo, and I don't even know if she knew we were doing the Wow That's Nuts stuff. We kind of lost touch, and it bums me out because she was one of my favorite people on the planet, actually.
One of the times we hung out with her, we went to whatever it's called now, the concert center in Mansfield, and we saw Tom Petty. But for whatever reason, we were pre-gaming in the parking lot, having fun, and some of us had tickets and some of us didn't. So half of us went into the concert, and the other half tried to sneak in, and we got kicked out by security. So we had to just stay in the parking lot for the rest of the show.
See, I don't remember that at all. So yeah. You must have been the one of the ones that didn't have a ticket, because I was in there.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I had a ticket because I did not make it in that night to the concert. But the parking lot was fun. A lot of the fun times we had with her were in the summer, and It's summer now.
Yeah. Everybody
got your beach bod ready?
Yeah, we're
sunglasses, your cooler, your sunscreen. Get ready for the beach, everybody.
Oh God, it's so annoying when people are like, you got a few more weeks to get that beach bod ready. Yeah. 45 years of that, I don't care.
We did a skit a while back of what the beach in Rhode Island sounds like. Let's play a little clip of that.
Damn it! Those frickin' birds stole my french fries again.
Angeliano, don't eat that entire sub. We're stopping at Twin Oaks on the way home.
Let him eat it. We'll be sitting in traffic for 3 hours on the way home anyways. He'll be hungry by then.
Sir, could you please turn your music down?
For what? It's a free country. I'll play whatever I want. The frick out of here, Karen.
I don't know if I was aggressive enough. Because I really want him to sleep with me.
Oh, I'm with my kids over here. Take it elsewhere. Gen Z, more like Gen D for disease. Get out of here. Oh, you see this? Frickin' bird crap right on my shoulder. I gotta wash this off.
Dad, look at the jellyfish.
What are you, stupid? Get away from that thing.
Look, Dad, a shark.
There's no sharks. Oh, that's a shark. Let's go.
Attention beachgoers. The beach will be closing in 10 minutes. We scan the young things and make your way to your vehicles.
All this and all I got to show for it is high blood pressure and sand in my shorts. The beach.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the beach in Rhode Island sounds like.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to Scarborough Beach in Rhode Island. That's exactly the sounds that you're going to hear over there.
Oh yeah. Remember we played at a music festival in Block Island, which is, for those of you who don't know, is a little island off of Rhode Island that's very small and very small community, but they have pretty rich, tourist area when you get on, right off the boat on the island. And every year they used to do this music festival that we used to play at, and it was at a place called Captain Nick's. And one year we were there, and we were waiting to play. And they had like a little cookout, so a bunch of people were just hanging out like right outside the venue, outside, just chilling, eating like hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff. And this guy wanders over to us, and what was the first thing he said? He wanted to take us in for a tour of the island in his car. And for whatever reason, we said yes. We'd never met this guy before. So we get in his car, and he takes us in the graveyard and starts telling us the history of this graveyard in Block Island. And
I think when the car turned to the graveyard, we kind of looked at one another like, "Oh shh!"
yeah,
like we're
getting buried.
Like we just made the biggest Pollock move ever.
Yeah, I think we at some point in the car ride we realized we really shouldn't have done this, because the more he talked, the more we realized how nutty he was. So anyway, so what happened? Then he took us through the graveyard. He was with his wife too, right?
Yeah, and they were in another land too.
And they took us back to. They lived right next door to the place we were playing. So they took us back to the parking lot, and we got out of the car and stuff. And we still had some time before we had to play. So he was like, "Hey, come in my house. I want to show you this great thing I found." So we're like, again, stupidly, we said okay. We figure, it's right next door. We're if he tries to kill us, somebody will hear us screaming. So we go in his house, and he goes, "Check this out. It's this new thing called YouTube. You can watch any music video you want on it. Anything you can think of." And he pulls up like Eric Clapton or some like music video from the 80s. And at this time, YouTube had already been out for 7 years? So it was already a known. Everybody was already on YouTube, and he was talking about it like it came out yesterday. And we were just.
Didn't him and his wife live on a boat too? They lived on a boat for the entire winter. Can you imagine living on a boat that's docked in the ocean for the whole winter? You're just doing that. You're doing this.
Is that even possible?
Yeah, people do this, and they live in the boat the whole time you're moving. Maybe they had some brain damage from that.
I don't think you can get brain damage from that. I think their brain damage was from something else. What they consumed.
I just snorted on that one.
But anyway, it was a pretty funny story. And then I think it was that same night after we played, a guy came up to us who was in the audience, and he was like, "Hey, you guys want some free stuff?" We were like, "Get the hell out of here." We thought it was just a scam. And he ended up working for this music company called Hercules, who makes music stands and other music equipment. And he's like, he gave us his card. He's like, "Send me an email and tell me what you want from our website, and I'll ship it to you." We were like, "Yeah, right." So I sent him a list of all this gear, and he just shipped it to us for free.
All of it. We still have it.
We still have it, yeah.
And it's really good stuff.
It is. It's the best in terms of speaker stands and mic stands and stuff like that.
We were pretty cool back then.
What happened?
Yeah. Then we got, remember the, I don't know how that happened, but we were using the looper. That was the whole thing. The looper pedal was what made us. And, what was the loop? The loop, was it Ampeg?
We weren't looping farts at that time. We were looping just basically guitar and bass and keys and maybe some vocals. But no, Digitech sponsored us too. They put us on their website as an endorsed artist, but we never got any gear from them.
Yeah, endorsed by what? Just acknowledging that we used their product is pretty much all it was.
I do like their pedals though. I'm actually using one right now.
It's amazing what people think sponsorships actually are.
Yeah, a lot of times, that one in particular, it was nothing more than us being on their website, which was cool, but we didn't really get any gear from it. But it was also part of the reason for that is that somebody we know hooked it up for us, and we didn't have any contact with him. Only he did.
Yeah.
And he kind of screwed the whole deal.
He screwed it up because he was misspelling words. Because he didn't know how to spell. He still doesn't.
Anyway.
But now all we're getting for sponsorships actually are ass wipes. Yeah, there's a particular company that saw our content and was like communicating with us, and we're like, yeah, do you want some commercials and stuff for you? Because obviously we can do that. And they weren't interested. They just wanted us to take their free ass wipes. You have to say ass wipes. Like you can't call it anything else.
Yeah, that's what they are.
They're ass wipes. And they wanted us to just take like a year's worth of ass wipes and use them in the videos. We're like, no, we're going to get paid for our time and like commercials for you guys. Like we don't care about ass wipes. like, are you serious? But the amount of people that are willing to do that, to say that they're sponsored, and like, you know what? Like, I think a lot of people are kind of whoring themselves out this day and age to get any type of attention. It's kind of sad. Like, you and I are like, no, we're too old for that. Like, you're either going to pay us or we're not doing it. We don't care.
Yeah, when that deal first came through, we were like, oh, sweet. We're going to be like endorsed by this company or sponsored by them or whatever. And then we read the deal and it was like, yeah, you're going to make all this content and we're going to give you free ass wipes for it. Like you make like, it was something crazy too, like 5 hours of content for one pack of ass wipes. We were like,
yeah, it wasn't just a year's worth. You had to like work your way up to the ass wipes.
how about this? Wipe your ass with all the dollar bills you're not getting from your sponsorship. Huh?
Speaking of that sense of humor though, the coolest thing I got.
What other sense of humor is there? That's all we have. If there was no toilet humor, we would have nothing.
What do they call it? Lowbrow humor?
Yeah, it's about as low as it gets, folks. I like it though.
I like the fact that other people, it's going to take a longer time to find them, but we're finding them one subscriber at a time.
I was just about to say one at a time.
Yeah.
All the wackos that are into toilet humor as much as we are.
The coolest thing I saw was going with your wife and your daughter to the skate-in this past week, because the highlight of the whole thing, not that she was there to see her friend, which I thought her little friend was one of the coolest little friends she's had as far as I'm concerned. I loved his personality. He's so cute. And anyway, I got to meet him, and there was this kid. He was like, just picture like, oh my God. What's the movie where he's like, oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the movie. Just picture like the heaviest kid there. Okay. And he was going around with a whoopee cushion. Like everyone's trying to skate. Everyone's just trying to do their thing and like learn how to skate on the carpet or skate around the floor. And he was just going around the whole time going bah! With a whoopee cushion on all around people, like putting it underneath him so everybody would hear it, and it went on for the whole 2 hours that they skated. I'm like, now that kid's my hero right there.
You ever wonder why people like whoopee cushions so much?
I don't know. It's just some people do.
Well, here's what AI says. People enjoy whoopee cushions because they offer a simple, harmless, and classic way to create laughter and break the tension in a social situation. I guess that's what he was trying to do there. Break the tension.
He didn't want to be there or skate, so he was breaking the tension.
As a staple of toilet humor, the device triggers surprise and amusement by producing a loud, realistic, and embarrassing sound in a dignified setting. I don't know if I would call skate-in dignified, but props to that kid, because that's awesome.
Do you remember when we did that to Graham? We got like the whoopee cushion that was like literally the size of, I don't know if people can see the symbols, but it was like, it was huge, and we put it under the rocking chair like cushion. So when she sat on the rocking chair on the porch at Mom and Dad's, like, and the poor Graham, she sat in it, and her face was just like. She goes, I thought that was an airplane crash. because the airport's right near, and she really thought it was like a plane crashing. Poor Graham.
The sad part is we were in our 30s at that time. Sorry, Graham. Rest in peace.
Oh my God.
That reminds me of this joke, this constant joke that we always talk about, where if you were at a club and a bunch of people, like college age kids, were in there, you know, typical club, like everyone's in there trying to like dance and hook up, basically. Imagine if a DJ played farts on the what do you call it? On the sound system. Imagine the reactions of people. One time before we die, we need to do that because I just capturing people's reactions would be priceless. Can you imagine if you're just like people are trying to impress each other and then all of a sudden you hear gradually, little by little, farts entering into the club music and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then it just gets worse and worse until it's just nothing but farts.
I think Davey and Michelle would let us do it.
I'm scared to do it, honestly, but it might be worth it to get beat up over. Like, imagine. Well, this is going back to like the 90s, I guess, but was it 90s?
Yeah, but these young kids go into the clubs and they listen to this kind of stuff.
That's true.
That's like retro for them now because we're so old that they like to listen to like 70s, 80s, 90s. Like,
yeah. Let's do a recreation of what that would sound like.
Ooh, baby, feel like the music sounds better with cool. Thoughts might make the music better. Feel a movement, baby. I feel like the music sounds better with cool. Thoughts might make the music better.
Why are you keeping the kick going?
because at the end I wanted to be a huge fart noise at the end of that kick.
Okay. Just imagine what it would be like if you played that in a club. People would go, okay, here's what would happen. Half the people would be laughing, and the other half would be wanting to fight. And beat up the DJ. Right? That needs to be in a movie, or like we were saying, like happen in real life. But I don't want anybody to get beat up, but I'm just saying it would be pretty funny to get people's reactions.
Yeah. I don't think anybody, I mean, well, we say that. Everyone's drinking. You never know how people will react.
That reminds me of one of your favorite activities, which is driving around blasting farts in your car with the windows down. And people get angry when they hear it, right?
Especially places like Newport, Rhode Island, where everybody is just so conservative and like, oh my God. We have got to get people's reactions to that because it is the funniest thing. You take your phone and you plug in like fart sounds on YouTube and they get like louder and louder and more crazy. And you put it up at like the highest volume with your windows down where everyone's walking around.
Well, Newport is funny in particular because there's a lot of money in that area. So everybody has money and they're walking around like all prim and proper. And then to hear that, imagine you're walking down the street with a like on a first date and someone drives by blasting farts. What do? Like that's got to be so awkward, right?
I love it so much. I've been doing these things since I can remember. And I can't imagine like if I don't know how long God's going to allow me on the planet for, but it's going to go on for as long as I'm here.
Well, I don't know if he likes it or not, but
I think he does. He invented it.
That's true.
Oh, God.
That reminds me of the story of when we were staying at the Wellington. We were staying at this hotel in Newport a couple years ago, and I had consumed a little bit of alcohol that night. And when I went to bed, apparently I got up in the middle of the night and was talking about galleons and like, which I have no idea what. Actually, I was pronouncing it galleons.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, a word I had never heard before in my life, and I was like, I was sleepwalking. Right?
I witnessed it. Everybody else was asleep. The whole family was asleep. Mom and Dad, Missy, Marley, Draven, and like I witnessed it because I woke up to you trying to take the headboard of the bed off.
And then you said something to me, and I said it's the galleons, right?
yeah, you're like, I'm trying to get to the Galians. And I was just like, Sean, you're sleepwalking. And then like, I didn't know what to do because I literally was just like, oh my God, like I'm not supposed to wake him up. But is this like a drunken sleepwalk? Like I didn't know what to do. And you kept going around the suite, like in circles, walking around. And I was like, oh, and I had this crazy feeling that there was like a spirit inside you. I was like, there's something operating him right now. I was like, this is crazy.
So yeah, the next morning we were talking about it and we were like, what the hell is a Galian? And we looked it up and it's actually pronounced galleon, but a galleon is a large multi-decked sailing ship with 3 or more masts, square rigged on the foremast and mainmast, and lateen rigged on the aftermasts, whatever the hell that means. Used primarily as warships or cargo carriers by European nations, particularly Spain, from the 15th to 18th centuries. They were renowned for their size, heavy armament, and role in exploration. So our theory is that I was possessed by an old
pirate.
An old pirate. And that's what caused me to sleepwalk and talk about galleons.
Because you didn't even know what the heck that was. Like it was
Yeah.
the craziest thing. I remember what you said. And then that particular place, the Wellington, I had heard like right in my ear the year before, like a spirit being like, hi. And it was a woman's voice. And I woke up and I was like, oh my God. I was like, there's ghosts in here. And then it happened again that year. So I was like, yeah, there's definitely spirits all around that place. Like you were like, I'm never going back there again.
That was a little freaky because I've never really sleepwalked. I sleepwalked one time in my life when I was a kid. I woke up I was sleepwalking and I woke up like standing up and I was like freaked out. And I thought I was in my basement, but when I turned the lights on, I was actually in the closet of my bedroom.
Yeah, I have a theory on that stuff. I think that it really is like it's not you anymore, and something is like using your body. Because it's just, I've seen some bizarre stuff. Like I've watched some really creepy stuff in my day, and one of my friends growing up, Jessica, had it. She used to sleepwalk all the time, and then the stuff I witnessed with you know who, I mean that was crazy stuff that I saw going on because he's evil, so he had like evil spirits coming in and out of him.
That's crazy. So yeah, sleepwalking, also known as somnambulism. Am I pronouncing that? Yeah. Is a parasomnia or disorder of arousal occurring during deep NREM sleep, often signaling underlying factors like chronic sleep deprivation, high stress, anxiety, or fever. While common in children, adult onset can indicate genetics, alcohol use, that's what it was in my case a couple of years ago, medication side effects, or other conditions like sleep apnea or neurological disorders.
One of the first times I ever heard about, to the point where like, because they made a whole documentary about sleep paralysis. I think it was like in 2015. You can find it on YouTube.
There's probably a lot of them.
Well, this one in particular, they really went into it and they dived into like how many people when they're in sleep paralysis have seen a particular shadow figure that wears a hat. So they called it like the Hat Man. And it's like people from all around the globe have seen this thing. I'm wondering if that was what inspired the whole Freddy Krueger thing, because people were talking about that for like, it's been documented now for centuries. But anyway, first time I ever heard about somebody having like crazy sleep paralysis was somebody that worked with my father, and we used to go out to dinner with them all the time. And the wife actually, we were sitting on the side of the table with mom, and she felt comfortable enough. I was probably like, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. And she started telling us what was going on. And she said that she could not wake up. She could wake up, but she couldn't wake up anybody around her. Everybody just like was dead asleep. And this like alien baby, she said it was like a baby alien crawling on the wall, crawling on the wall and the ceiling. And it would like start coming towards her, and then she couldn't scream. She couldn't like say anything. She couldn't scream or and so many people have said this kind of stuff has happened to them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sleep paralysis is a temporary inability to move or speak that occurs when waking up or falling asleep, often accompanied by hallucinations and intense fear. It happens when the brain wakes from REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, but the body remains in a relaxed, paralyzed state with episodes lasting a few seconds to minutes.
Yeah, but like, why would all of us? And I had a sleep paralysis experience. Why would all of us see creatures? Because when I had the sleep paralysis, thankfully, knock on wood at this point, it only happened to me once, and it was again when I had to sleep near the monster of all monsters. But I saw this like little leprechaun thing. I swear to God, he like I swear, like, hello, I'm the leprechaun. It was so freaky. He like came out of the wall, and like he was walking too, just like on air. They just like walk on air. They're like floating. And he came over to me, and then I couldn't move. I just watched him. And then he went back into the wall, and then I woke up. So why are, like, if that's the case, why are we all seeing like aliens, the shadow man, the leprechaun? Like, it's not just our brain making up creepy creatures.
Well, it could be that we watch a lot of horror movies, and that's in all of them.
I doubt it. I think that we're like in another dimension, and that's why we're able to see things we wouldn't normally see.
Well, supposedly that's what happened with the Amityville horror story.
Yeah.
In the Amityville horror lore, George Lutz's practice of transcendental meditation is often cited as a key factor that opened the door to negative, demonic, or occult entities within 112 Ocean Avenue, which is where that took place. Some interpretations suggest he used unapproved or dark mantras, merging meditation with occult practices that intensified the haunting. I was actually just watching a documentary or whatever about Son of Sam, that serial killer in New York, and they interviewed him like now, because back when he was doing all his killing and stuff, it was like in the 70s, late 70s, and he said that he's a born again Christian, and he said he was possessed by demons. That's what caused him to do it.
Yeah, well, the Amityville Horror House, what was the family that originally he shot his whole family?
Well,
it was
George Lutz, right?
No, George Lutz was the one that moved in with his family, but the one that shot his whole family was oh God, I can't think of it right now because I'm brain dead. But anyway, he was in jail for years, I think in New Jersey, or somewhere in New York. They had him in Ronald DeFeo. And in interviews up until the day he died too, he died in jail. Like, this is like a few years ago, he'd actually died. I actually wanted to interview him on my channel. And as I was thinking about it, how weird is this? The night I was thinking about, I should try to go down to the jail and like interview him, because he always talked about that he was possessed by a demon that night. And as I was thinking about it, the very next day, he died.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he said the same thing.
And we talked about, oh God, what the hell's his name? The Loch Ness Monster thing we did. Aleister Crowley. He said the same thing. He was doing like, dark mantras and all this kind of stuff, and it opened a portal to all the crazy crap that happened to him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happens a lot of times when people are into like
dark arts.
Dark arts, yeah. It just opens up portals and causes crazy stuff to happen.
I think more people don't realize too that you have to watch like all the stuff that you do, like what you're watching, what you're engaging in, because that can all, obviously substances, because that can open the doors too.
Yep, that's why they call them spirits, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You were saying that there was a story of a guy on the ground in New Orleans, and people told you not to go near him. Oh
yeah, well, New Orleans is a place actually that I feel is like a huge portal. Like there's a whole series on TikTok of people saying that they've gone in a bar in New Orleans and like left something there and went back the next day to get it, and the bar didn't even exist.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like a whole series of people telling that story over and over again on TikTok. Like, so there's like I think that's like a harvesting energy kind of place. The same with Salem. People go there and they do like their dark arts because like tragic things happen there, and they try to like siphon off that energy. So you'll feel that actually. Well, when we went to New Orleans, the energy there is just off the charts. It's crazy.
And obviously, like, indulging in drugs and alcohol.
Oh,
kinda-
yeah. Is enhancing
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so Michelle and I were there 2 years ago because a friend of ours was thinking about moving there. She lives there now. She has a second house there. And if you don't, there's a whole nother side of New Orleans, which is actually really cool. Like, it's not just all like dark and, and scary. But this one particular night, we were trying to come out of a restaurant and they locked us in the restaurant and they were like, you can't go out right now. There's something going on out there. And we're like, what? And so I feel like we were in there for like 40 minutes. And then finally they were like, okay, we're going to open the door, but you got to go to the right. And we were like, okay. And so they open the door, we start walking to the right and we see this man on the ground, just like he looked like he was dead. So instinctively, Michelle and I ran over to him like, do we need to give him CPR? You know what I mean? And I was like, can you hear me? Squeeze my hand if you can hear me. And he had a pulse and he was breathing okay, but he was just unconscious. And he did squeeze my hand, but he couldn't get up. And so Michelle starts calling 911 and I swear to you, there was a crowd of people around us with their phones like this. And they were already standing there before we went over to try and help this man. Nobody tried to help this man. And that's when I got this like scary feeling about this world. I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, this is bad when we've gotten to this place. And just as Michelle was calling 911 and the operator picked up, this other man comes over and whispers in my ear, you and your friend better get out of here. You're going to be in big trouble. And I was just like, and I didn't care. I was still like going to help the man. I figured it might have been like gang related or something, like who knows? But
Yeah.
I was just like, and then we ended up, the operator said they were sending someone. And our other friend was like, come on guys, let's get out of here. Cause she heard him. She heard what he said. She's like, let's get out of here. She was scared. And then as we were getting up to leave and we knew that they were coming so we could hear the alarms, but who knows if they were coming to him or somebody else. It's Bourbon Street. It was on Bourbon Street. He got up. Like I turned around and he like got up and like started running out of there. Like, I don't know like what happened, but it's just, it's nuts to think about. Like, have we lost the plot of helping one another, or is like those days over because everyone's afraid of this, that, or the other thing? Like, I don't know what we walked into, but like Michelle and I were like, we talked about it so many times after. We're like, we wouldn't have done it different and any other way. We would have instinctively tried to help somebody that's on the ground.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Did you hear that cars are starting next year? Cars are going to have a detection system in them where if you're impaired, you won't be able to drive the car.
Yeah, they're apparently going to be able to tell by your eyes, like if you're able to operate a car or not.
I heard it was your eyes, but there's some other things too. Like I'm sure AI is part of it, but they also detect like your blood alcohol level or the amount of like if there's a smell of alcohol, you won't be able to start the car and that kind of thing.
They probably could have done this like 10 years ago and they just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that this could have been done. This could have saved so many lives if they had done that a long time ago. But do you realize like all the people with a substance problem are going to go buy like used cars now? The used cars are going to get all bought up. I mean, it's terrible, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. But that's the way it should be. I mean, that's one of the positive things about like technology and AI and stuff that things like that are going to prevent a lot of deaths from car accidents and things like that.
Yep.
But obviously AI still got a long way to go.
Yep.
You were telling me the other day about the guy who interviews AI online. That
guy is one of the, if we can find a clip of him, we got to put it in right now. We'll look through, but he is one of the funniest. His channel is like, if I didn't ever go back on TikTok, I would go on just to watch this channel. He catches AI doing all kinds of mistakes. Like he's like, help, I'm in an emergency. I think I'm going to die. And like, it just, the AI does not, it's not as smart as people. He's really debunking everything that he's letting people know we're relying on something that is not smart. Like,
yeah. No.
And can actually lead you in like dangerous paths.
Yeah.
but he's so funny about it, and he makes some of them like really humorous. So you can see like this is ridiculous. Like people are relying on this for help.
Well, we're at the beginning of it, so I'm sure it'll get better.
Yeah,
But right now, it's a little scary.
it is.
Let's wrap it up by playing our AI song live.
Okay. AI,
Don't know what to do.
AI,
Terminator 2 is coming true.
AI,
Don't know what will become of you and me.
AI,
Help me, please.
AI,
Will I have to get another job?
AI,
Will I become a full-time slob?
AI,
They're already making robot hoes.
AI.
Hey, where's this gonna go? Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.